You'd never guess by looking, but this is where the UK's most expensive hi-fi speakers are made. Welcome to the headquarters of KEF, where they produce the Muon. I feel like Charlie, who's just got the golden ticket into Wonka's factory. KEF have granted me access to go behind closed doors and witness their speaker-making process. Steve.
Hi.
How you doing?
Very good.
I am so excited to be here amongst all of this incredible design, and of course I'm super excited to meet the most expensive speaker manufactured in the UK, the Muon.
We're really proud of it. It's essentially what happens when you say to your engineering team, what could you do with no financial constraints?
Only 100 pairs will ever be made, with each speaker weighing in at 115 kilograms. Go on then, tell me, if I wanted to purchase a pair of Muon, what number would I have to write on my cheque?
You don't have to put a deposit down.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
But you do have to sign the final cheque for £140,000.
£140,000. Okay, maybe I'll talk to Mrs. Bradbury and get back to you on that one. To understand the speaker in more detail, next I met the design team.
We develop software so that we can simulate the behaviour of our loudspeakers before actually prototyping them. So it allows us to, on the computer, fine-tune the designs.
Back in 1973, KEF became the first speaker company in the world to use computers for design and testing. Is this a part from the Muon?
Yes, the tweeter we're looking at on screen is the one that's in the Muon, so we can apply forces to it and see how it reacts. We're also then interested in, what does it do to the air? And you can see the sound waves coming off the front of the diaphragm and off the back. That's ultimately what's going to reach the listener.
I had no idea it was this complex. Next, I was taken into what appeared to be a futuristic dungeon.
This is our anechoic chamber. This is where we do our measurements of our loudspeakers. So you can see it's completely filled with these triangular wedges, and the whole idea here is that there aren't any echoes.
No.
That's what anechoic means.
It feels like a dead sound space.
Yeah.
There's something very sci-fi about this.
It's a really odd experience.
Yeah. The wedges mean that there are no parallel surfaces, which can subtly distort sounds heard in a room. So when speakers are listened to in here, their output is heard in total purity. Wow. Bonkers. You guys are really uber geeky. You make me look like a normal guy. The Muons were given their sci-fi style by award-winning industrial designer Ross Lovegrove, who counts Apple and Sony as former clients. The finished products are made from 6mm thick superformed aluminium. Barry, I mean, look at what you're polishing here. These things are truly beautiful. They're like alien coffins.
In here, you can see the weld on the inside where they're fixed together. Normally, you'd expect to see a scar on the outside.
Yeah. There is nothing there.
There's nothing there. And so once that's all subjected to 160 hours of polishing, it all looks seamless, which is what the designer had in mind in the first place.
Hang on. Did you just say 160 hours of polishing?
That's right, yeah.
For a geek like me, the internal circuit board was even prettier. It's like a beautiful piece of artisan creativity. It's hand done. That's why all the components are large. Just really extraordinary. It's expensive, it's beautiful, it's handmade. Then finally, I got to sit down for a listen, and I planned a blind test to see how different the Muons sound to normal speakers. These KEF Acoustics 3050s are what Hi-Fi's favourite floor standing speakers for under £500. They can handle up to 100 watts and have two 16.5cm woofers. I've listened to them back to back with the Muons, and I have no idea which way around they were. The first pair sounded rich and detailed. They were in a different league to any dock or streaming system I've heard. Then I listened to the second pair. There was no comparison. The organ was now in the room with me. The second pair were cosmically different, cosmically better. Incredible, I couldn't just hear the organ, I could hear the church. I could hear the acoustics of the church. My eyes are watering. It was really profoundly beautiful. I've had unprecedented access today at KEF, and I've been able to explore what it really means for money to be no object if what you're seeking is audio perfection. And those speakers are just about as perfect as I can imagine.